Well, one of the key brokers of this agreement is the tiny emirate of Qatar. Perched on a peninsula jutting out into the Gulf, it is hugely wealthy thanks to vast reserves of energy. And it's carved out a diplomatic niche for itself by maintaining relations with all sorts of groups that some of its other allies would rather not deal with directly, such as Hamas, which maintains an office in Qatar. Let's talk to Nawaf Al-Thani, former Director of Defence Intelligence Operations in Qatar and a member of the ruling family. Welcome to NewsHour. What's your understanding of Qatar's role then in the agreement? Is it just about conveying messages between both sides or more than that?
Thank you for having me. No, it's more than that. It's conducting negotiations. So it's not only relaying messages. It's conducting negotiation as it has in different situations globally.
And how close is Qatar to Hamas?
Well, Qatar has the political office of Hamas positioned in Qatar upon request from our allies, the Americans, and with coordinations with them for over a decade now, to have that office here in Qatar to facilitate communications and to have some calm in Gaza, I'm sure from the American side for the security of the Israelis, but also for the security of the Gazans, which Qatar has been conducting, as I said, for a good part of a decade at this point.
And Hamas in Qatar, those working out of that political office, I mean, to what extent are they in lockstep with Hamas fighters in Gaza? And how much of a factor has that been in these negotiations, do you think?
Well, to the extent of what's important for Qatar at this point, they're effective enough to actually have results. And I think having that line of communication and having actual results, as we know, some hostages have been released in the past. And these results we've seen now, taking effect tomorrow morning local time, have come about because of those communications.
And what's in it for Qatar?
Well, for Qatar, it's part of the Qatari diplomacy and Qatari DNA. Qatar is quite unique in the region that has a constitutional requirement to negotiate. Qatar has been negotiating successfully in many arenas for the past 2 decades. It negotiated the return of children from Russia to Ukraine while still condemning the Russian aggression over Ukraine, and with Iran and the United States, and obviously the American withdrawal of Afghanistan. And all of that is part of the political DNA of Qatar for the better part of 2 decades now.
Right,
So
but
this is not new.
yeah, but it's not a charity. I mean, there must be some benefit for Qatar. Is it to be friends with everybody because it feels vulnerable as such a small country in a dangerous part of the world?
No, I think small states usually look for niche capabilities where they can be relied upon and have a larger effect than their size. In the sense, Qatar, in its case, relies on two areas. And one is negotiation and de-escalatory diplomacy. And the second is in the military side, providing strategic lift for humanitarian aid.
But are there
Both are
risks? Sorry
niche
to interrupt you.
capabilities.
We've only got a little time left. But are there, in 30 seconds, are there risks though for Qatar positioning itself in this way?
No, I don't think so, because promoting peace and seeing that achieved is usually rewarded and not, hopefully, a risk.
Nawaf Al-Thani, thank you very much indeed, former Director of Defence Intelligence Operations in Qatar. Don't forget, there is more